Hey everyone, welcome back to Diecast Hunter, your home for diecast legends and automotive icons. Today we are looking at a tiny Ferrari with a huge voice in the car industry, the Ferrari 458 Speciale. This little model is from Bburago and it's a 1/64 scale, and this represents what many people call the last great natural aspirated V8 Ferrari before turbos and hybrids took over. If you want to see what the real Speciale looks like being driven hard, Evo's track review at the Anglici and Fiorano test videos on YouTube are great visual comparison to what we are talking about today. I have added links to those clips in the description below, and all those clips belong to those creators, of course, but they really help you to picture what this model represents. So starting with the box, we got a beautiful illustration of the 458 Speciale in the box. We got the Bburago logo out here, 458 Speciale written here, the prancing Ferrari hose here, beautiful. And to this side, you got the Bburago logo and the 458 written. This side, you got the Ferrari official licensing sticker here. And to the back, it's all Chinese. We got the brandings and warnings. So that's it for the cover. So let's open and look at the car. It's a tiny box. So unlike other brands, this doesn't comes in a protector or anything. It just comes in a plastic cover. So let's remove that too. Imagine Ferrari's Fiorano test track on a cool morning. A red 458 Speciale lines up in the pit lane. The V8 is idling with that raspy metallic note, and as it pulls out, the engine climbs all the way to the 9,000 RPM. Every vent and curve you see on this little Bburago is a scaled down hint of that full-size track weapon. And what you're gonna hear is the roar of the Ferrari F58 Speciale. I had taken this from the Marchesino's Ferrari F58 Special Pure Exhaust Note video, and it's a fantastic reference to. I had added you credits and links to his video in this description. So now let's start looking the car in detail. So let's start with the front. So in this model you can see a sharp nose, big lower grille, and the sculpted intakes on both sides. On the real 458 Speciale, this entire front bumper was redesigned in Ferrari's wind tunnel. So that large center grille in the car's main mouth, feeding air to the radiator so that the 4.5 liter V8 can run lap after lap without overheating. The smaller side openings help manage air around the front wheels, cutting drag and keeping the flow clean. The Speciale also introduced an active aerodynamics, and on the real car, there are little flaps hidden in the bumper that stay closed at the low speeds to reduce drag and then open at higher speeds to create more downforce and stability. They are small details, but they are a big part of what separates the Speciale from the standard 458 Italia. The slim swept-back headlights with LED strips help push air over the front fenders instead of fighting it, and they give the car that intense focus look you see even in the tiny scale. If you watch the track review of the 458 Speciale, you'll see how that front end stays tautly composed even when the driver throws it into the fast corners. That's the Zero package doing its job. And you got the Ferrari logo out here and the stripes that's starting from the hood, beautifully captured here. So now let's move to the sides. So from the side, Bburago really captures the mid-engine stance, the cabin push forward, the long tail, and the muscular rear haunches. On the real car, Ferrari cut about 90 kilos compared with the standard 458 Italia, using thinner glass, more carbon fiber and stripped down interior. Less sound insulation, lighter seats and weight saving details all over the chassis makes the Speciale feel sharper and more alive. The side air intakes behind the doors feed cool air towards the engine bay and the rear radiators. In a car that revs this high and produces this much heat, that airflow is essential. The subtle side cut lines you see molded into this diecast hint at a real aerodynamic work going on, guiding air under the car towards a diffuser for better stability at speed. And on the top, the racing stripes running over the top of the car are a nod of Ferrari's track-focused specials car like the 430 Scuderia. They signal that this is a 458 turned up for the track, not just a cosmetic package. You got now window glasses here, so we can clearly see the details, so we'll come to it. So we got free rolling wheels. Since these are basic wheels, it feels a bit blank out from here. Maybe a small wheel swap could do. Yeah, let's see. So it does not have any opening parts also. Yeah, so that's it for the side profile. Now let's move to the rear. And here we get to the part that most people remember, the exhaust and the serious diffuser. On the full-size car, this exhaust layout is tuned as much for character as it is for performance. It's designed to give you that race car style crescendo as the engine charges to 9,000 RPM. This little model mirrors that instantly recognizable look. Though I wish there could have been had a bit more detail to it, but yeah, it is what it is. So below that, the rear diffuser is shaped to accelerate the air rushing underneath the car as air speeds up under the chassis and expands as it exits the diffuser. It creates a low pressure area that effectively sucks the car closer to the racetrack. That's downforce without adding a huge rear wing. Together with a subtle lip spoiler at the top, it keeps the car stable well beyond 300 km/h. The high round tail lights and the wide stance give the Speciale a planted look visually and dynamically, especially with the slightly wider track and revised suspension compared to the Italia. The real 458 Speciale uses a 4.5 naturally aspirated V8, making about 605 horsepower and revving it around 9,000 RPM. That was the most powerful naturally aspirated V8 Ferrari had ever put in a road car at that time. 0 to 100 km happens in about 3 seconds and the top speed is in the 325 km region. Air comes in through the front and the side intakes, passes through the radiator and airbox and feeds the engine. Ferrari reworked the internals compared to the regular 458, lighter components, higher compression and revised intake and exhaust for better breathing. The goal was razor-sharp throttle response and that signature high revving scream. On the electronic side, you have the systems like side slip control SSC. In simple terms, SSC measures how much the car is sliding and helps the driver stay right on the limit by coordinating traction control and electronic differential. So that's too much electronics, and it lets skilled drivers explore oversteer and aggressive corners exit with more confidence without totally killing the fun. In a way, that's a lot of tech and you're holding a small piece of it. And you when look inside, you can see the seats, the steering column, the dashboard. Yeah, it's pretty good for this scale. So even though the interior is basic, in the real car, the cabin is all about the driver. You get carbon fiber bucket seats, plenty of Alcantara, steering wheel loaded with controls, engine start button, manage drive mode switch, shift lights, and not much else. Most of the comfort and sound deadening features that the regular 458 might have are gone. Ferrari wanted you to feel the engine, the road, and the car's movement, not hide them. So that was this gem in its time. So yeah, and Bburago has captured it in a pretty decent way. It's a 1/64 scale snapshot of a turning point in Ferrari's history, the last era of high-revving natural aspirated V8 supercars before the turbos, hybrids, and stricter regulation changed the recipe. The shape, the stance, the stripes, and even the tiny hint of diffuser and exhaust all tell that story. So what do you think of this Speciale from Bburago? Do let me know in the comments. So if you had enjoyed this story-driven deep dive into both the diecast and the real car, don't forget to like, subscribe, and join me here on Diecast Hunter for more legends in 1/64 scales. Thanks for watching, and as always, happy collecting. Enjoy the turntable view.